Marcus received his $10,000 bonus after a year of overtime, careful spending, and quiet sacrifices. It was the first real surplus he had after rent, bills, debt payments, and helping his parents. When he saw the deposit, he did not imagine a vacation or a new phone. He imagined what would happen if the next emergency arrived before the next paycheck. That night, Marcus sat at his kitchen table and wrote down the bills that could break a normal month. Rent, car repairs, medical costs, family help, and lost income all fit on one page. The bonus suddenly looked smaller than it had in the meeting room, but it also looked useful. Elena reached the same $10,000 in a different way. Part came from her year-end bonus, and part came from a freelance project she finished after work. When the final payment arrived, she did not feel safe first. She felt that her current income ceiling might finally move. At home, Elena compared her salary, rent, and freelance income on the same page. Her life was stable, but the upward path looked narrow. Cash could protect her, but it could not automatically change her earning power. That was why growth felt urgent. On Saturday morning, Marcus walked into Harbor Savings Bank with his bonus still untouched. The electronic rate board promised modest interest, not transformation. But Marcus was not looking for transformation yet. He was looking for a place where emergency money could stay safe and available. A bank advisor showed Marcus how a separate emergency account would work. 3 months of expenses would not make him wealthy, but it could prevent panic. 6 months would give him more time, but every extra dollar there would grow slowly. For Marcus, that trade-off felt acceptable. Marcus moved most of the bonus into the new emergency account. The confirmation screen looked plain, almost boring, but boring was the point. This money was not meant to impress him. It was meant to be there. That night, Marcus slept differently. His income had not changed and his problems had not disappeared, but one surprise no longer felt like it could erase him. That was the first return his emergency fund paid. Elena used the first part of her savings to enroll in a professional certification. The course would not pay her back immediately, but staying at the same skill level felt like staying under the same income ceiling. For Elena, the benefit was future earning power, and the cost was cash leaving today. Elena used the second part of her savings to open a low-cost investment account. She understood the money could rise, but it could also fall before she needed it. Still, leaving every dollar in cash felt like letting time pass without her. For Elena, the benefit was compounding, and the cost was volatility. Elena used the third part of her savings to buy equipment for a side project. The tools could help her earn outside her salary, but only if the project worked. This was the most visible version of growth, money leaving before income arrived. For Elena, the benefit was possibility, and the cost was immediate pressure. That night, Elena reviewed what remained in her checking account. The plan made sense, but the cushion was thinner than before. Her future felt larger. Her present felt less protected. 3 months later, Marcus's car broke down before work. The repair bill hurt, but it did not force him into debt. He paid from the emergency fund and kept the problem contained. That was the first proof that cash had done its job. Elena's first test came during a side project deadline. Her laptop failed, a client payment was late, and the market was down that week. She had money, but much of it was invested, committed, or waiting to arrive. That was the first proof that growth without liquidity could shrink her choices. Marcus arrived at work late, but not financially shaken. The car repair still hurt, and the emergency fund was smaller now, but the bill did not spread into rent, credit cards, or family obligations. That containment was the point. Elena could sell part of the investment account, but the market was down. She could use the credit card, but the interest would turn timing into debt. She could delay the client work, but that might cost the referral. Growth had created possibility, but the lack of cash had narrowed the present. Months later, Marcus's company announced restructuring. He was afraid, but he did not feel trapped. The emergency fund gave him time before desperation could speak for him. The benefit of cash was not excitement. It was negotiation power. Elena's certification and side project began opening doors. She was invited to present her work to a small client. The money she had risked was starting to create opportunity. The benefit of growth was visible. A larger future had begun to appear. For the next few weeks, Marcus updated his resume without rushing. He turned down one low-quality job lead because he did not need to panic. The emergency fund did not give him wealth. It gave him time to make a better decision. Elena's first client did not make her rich, but it gave her proof that her skills could earn outside her salary. The money she spent began turning into reputation. Growth gave her access to rooms she had not entered before. Then Marcus received a dental bill he had not planned for. It was irritating, but it did not become a crisis. The emergency fund paid for what his monthly budget could not. Cash once again kept one problem from becoming 5. Lena's second client took longer to pay than expected. The project was successful, but the money arrived late. That delay exposed the weakness of a plan with too little cash. Growth could be real and still badly timed. After his emergency fund reached more than enough, Marcus kept adding to it. The number grew, but his life did not. Safety had protected him. Now it was starting to keep him still. Elena's opportunities grew, but so did the pressure underneath them. Every project needed tools, time, and cash before it paid her back. Growth was working, but it left little room for life to interrupt. She began to understand why a floor matters. Marcus knew his money was safe, but safe did not mean untouched. At the grocery store, the same basket cost more than it used to. Cash protected him from emergencies, but not from time. Elena paid one urgent expense with a credit card because cash was tight. It solved the moment, but it created a second problem later. Growth had promised freedom. Without liquidity, it had started borrowing from the future. Marcus saw a job posting that required a skill he had delayed learning. He had the money to take the course months ago, but he kept waiting until he felt safer. Sometimes too much safety becomes a polite way of saying no to growth. Elena looked at her calendar and realized every week depended on money arriving on time. Client payments, repair costs, subscriptions, course fees, and equipment payments all touched each other. Growth had expanded her future, but it had also made the present more delicate. Marcus finally set a target for his emergency fund instead of feeding it endlessly. Once the floor was strong enough, the next dollar needed a different job. He did not abandon safety. He stopped letting safety become the entire plan. Elena did not stop investing in herself. She only stopped leaving herself exposed. She opened a small emergency account beside her growth plan. Ambition became stronger when it no longer had to survive every emergency alone. Marcus used part of his surplus for the course he had delayed. The money was no longer only defending him from bad months. It was helping him become more valuable. The floor remained, but the ceiling finally started to move. Elena also changed her system. She separated emergency cash, business expenses, and long-term investments. The plan grew slower at first, but it stopped making every surprise feel like a threat. A pipe leaked in Marcus's apartment during a storm. The repair was inconvenient, but it did not become a financial crisis. His emergency fund handled what his monthly budget could not. Cash once again kept the damage contained. Months later, Elena faced another equipment repair. This time, she did not touch her investments or reach for a credit card. Her small emergency buffer paid the bill. Growth and liquidity were no longer fighting each other. Marcus began investing a small amount every month. He still respected risk, but he stopped treating risk as something to avoid forever. The benefit was movement. The cost was accepting that growth never feels completely safe. Elena kept investing in her skills, her tools, and her business pipeline. But now every dollar had a clearer role. Some money was allowed to grow. Some money was assigned to wait. Marcus learned that emergency savings is not money doing nothing. It is money standing guard. But once the guard is strong enough, every extra dollar should not be forced to stand beside it. Security is the beginning of a plan, not the whole plan. Elena learned that growth is not reckless when it has a floor beneath it. Her skills, investments, and side income still mattered, but liquidity made them stronger, not weaker. Ambition survives longer when it is not one emergency away from panic. Marcus stopped asking whether cash or growth was better. He started asking what each dollar needed to do. Money needed soon belonged in safety. Money meant for later belonged in growth. Elena reached the same answer from the opposite direction. The question was never saving or investing. The question was what kind of risk came first. Every dollar needed a job, and every job came with a cost. The cost of building an emergency fund is that some money will sit still while other money could be growing. You may feel slower than people who move aggressively, But when life interrupts the plan, still money can become powerful. It gives you time, dignity, and room to choose. The cost of chasing growth is that money often leaves before results arrive. You may gain skills, access, and future income, but the present can become fragile. Growth can expand your life, but it needs a floor beneath it to survive ordinary shocks. Before you ask whether to save more or invest more, ask what job the money is being asked to do. Is it protecting you from a bill next month, or building freedom 10 years from now? The same dollar cannot do both jobs perfectly. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.